Hey, whippersnappers, this is Tort the Grey. Welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Lord of the Rings Edition. Kind of. So, this is actually going to be more of an update video, and so that's why it's considerably shorter than you guys maybe would generally expect as you're looking at the timestamp on it. Here's the deal. So, early this week, I attempted to log into my Lord of the Rings world, well, let me just show you. Let's quit out here. So I was just in a backup that I had made pretty early on. The best guess I can make is when we were coming through the Shire on our way back from the Blue Mountains. So it's been a while. And so I made a backup at some point for some reason. I think at that point we'd stopped over in the Shire and a new version had come out, so I'd made a backup of the world before I updated, I think is what happened. So I have that, and that's what we were just in. Here is my actual world that I generally play in here. So let's try to launch this world and I'll show you what happens. So the world starts loading, and then it shows up for a second, and then immediately shutting down internal server error. A fatal error has occurred. This connection is terminated. And so I hit the Googles and I took a look at what exactly is going on and what I'm supposed to do. And pretty much everything people said, well, allocate more RAM, you know, crank down your settings, remove any extra mods, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. Did everything, and the issue continues to persist. I think I have 6 gigabytes of RAM allocated to Minecraft right now in this profile, and no change at all. Every single time we do this, and when we come back, we're in the multiplayer era. You know, we play. If I mash escape enough, we can get into this menu, and so we can see all of our precious items here and all that. We can go into options. Now I've got things turned back up because I was just going to record, so let's crank things down. I don't know what any of this, clouds are off, what, smooth lighting off. I mean, anything that could potentially make it a little bit easier on the system, I've done it, essentially. And so we click done, back to game, immediately shutting down internal server, blah 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 blah. So, I haven't found anything online that has worked. I put a post out in the Lord of the Rings mod Minecraft forum, and gotten very little response, very little helpful response besides reinstall Minecraft, which I'll probably maybe try that at some point. But honestly, like, I can launch this world, and I can launch other worlds. And so I don't think it's necessarily a Minecraft issue. Like I don't think it's, oh, this version of Minecraft is bad because I'm not having issues with other worlds. I think it's just, for whatever reason, there's something about the world, and I don't think it's corrupted because it loads. But it immediately dies, and so I don't regularly back up my worlds necessarily. I just happen to have a backup of this world from back, I believe, when we were passing back through after the Blue Mountains, so before we headed back east again here. So before we went to like Dunland and Breeland and, you know, pretty much anything else we've done for a very long time. It's an old backup. So the issue then becomes, okay, so if that world is dead and I can't continue that world, then what do I do? Because, like, everything, I'm going to continue. If anybody has any suggestions, give them to me. I'm going to continue attempting to get that world back, because I want to finish that series. We're like 24 episodes into that series. I want to go to Lothlorien. I want to, you know, go to Gondor. I want to get all of our allies, and I want to ride on Angmar and Mordor and wreck house on those evil buggers. But if I can't get the world to load, that makes it very difficult. So we have a couple of options, and I'd like you guys to weigh in on this. First, option A is continuing to try to recover that world, because that is what I want to do. That is best case scenario. I want to get that world working again somehow, and we'll be good to go with that. But I don't know if that's possible. I certainly don't know how to do it. I've tried everything. If it doesn't screw up all my different profiles and everything, I may try reinstalling Minecraft. But if it's going to be too much of a pain, I'm honestly not going to do it because I don't think it'll work. Because I'm playing Minecraft right now. It's that one specific world, which maybe you guys have had that issue before. Maybe it is a corruption thing. I don't think it is because the world loads even if for just a second. I don't know what's going on. And so option A is obviously going to continue to try and get that world back. Option B, we do have a backup of the world here. Really the only thing that's not recoverable, even if we started a new world, is the Hobbit Hole here. Like, I wouldn't be rebuilding this thing, but we could certainly potentially start here. I could go into, creative, and we could try and, recreate all of the stuff that we had previously. And so that's an option. If you guys, option 2 would be, okay, so, I believe there's, command, like, I don't know what the commands are, but I think on the wiki I saw there are commands where, like, you can set your alignment to certain levels, so I think we could potentially, like, recreate where we were, we could get, get our crew back. We could set our alignments back where they were. I could, creative mode my gear back, all that kind of stuff. And we could just continue trucking as we were. Or as option C, as everyone has requested, and this is kind of my least favorite option, but it's also probably the least work, would be to end Season 1 here, and start Season 2 up. A lot of people have asked me, hey, have you considered playing on a server with this so you can play with more people and stuff like that? Honestly, haven't really looked into it a lot. I don't even really know what that would look like necessarily. In terms of like this mod and everything, I don't know if most of those servers end up being lots of PvP or what. I don't know what that series would look like because I was thinking, well, we'll get through this series. And I wanted to get through Season 1 being just the single player. I wanted to go take on Mordor. I wanted to give this series its final shot. And unfortunately, technical difficulties may be ending it a little early. But if you guys want, we can take option C, which would be I try and find a server to play on, and we start Season 2 a little early, and all that. And I don't know what that, again, I don't know what that series looks like. But that's a potential option. Like, we don't even have our crafting table in here and anything yet. But, yeah, so those are kind of the options. And I'm going to kind of end it here, just because I don't want this to be excessively long, just rambling. But for whatever reason, I didn't change anything. Like, literally nothing. I don't know if it's because I have so, like... So we're back... we're back... I don't know if we can tell this when we load. I believe that I'm back at the Hobbit Hole. Which it's raining, which certainly doesn't help with lag and things like that. I think I'm back at the Hobbit Hole. Because we were having issues with the horns and stuff, which I actually got figured out. Somebody in the comments, and I don't remember who it was at this point, I apologize, but thank you to whoever it was. Mentioned last time, well, there's these, as of the last update, there's these things now, you have to make a horn of command, or you have to use a table of command, and you have to specifically assign a horn to a specific regiment, or whatever they're called. We've even got hobbits still at this point. Squadron. So you assign a horn to a specific squadron, and then it will command just that specific squadron now in the most recent versions. And so, like, we figured out how all that worked. But before I did that, I fast traveled back to the Hobbit Hole, and I was going to leave my people here. And because, like, especially in, like, Lothlorien, bad guys don't really spawn there, at least not in numbers that I would be worried about. So I was like, well, I'll just go do Lothlorien by myself, and then I don't have all these people bumping into me and being annoying. So I came back to the Hobbit Hole and dropped them off, and then I logged out. But I don't know if there's just like with the rain and all of the units that I had with me here and all of that, like it's lagging everything out so bad that Minecraft just can't even load the world. I don't know what the issue is. I honestly don't know. If you guys have ever seen anything like that, let me know. It's pretty much dumbfounded everybody who I've asked about it online. But yeah, so for the time being, until we figure out a solution, and you guys give me whatever your thoughts are in the comments below, if you know how to fix our world, because my first gut decision would be, I want to get that world fixed, and I want to finish Season 1 as it should be, you know, take our people, go march on Mordor, you know, I'm loving what we're doing currently, but at present that's not possible. So if you know how to fix it, let me know. If you guys, you know, option 1 is like continue trying to fix it at all costs. Option 2 is try and recreate where we were in this backup here, and then we can continue to kind of go from there. And option 3 would be, okay, Season 1 is over, and we then have to find a server and start Season 2 on there. So, and again, I don't know what that would look like, so, you know, take that option with a grain of salt. I really don't know what kind of series that would end up being, if that's going to end up being a much more buildy series, because, you know, okay, most servers, it's like, okay, well, you're, like, I feel like one of the servers that, like, Toxic and some of these people were on that I'd gotten invited to at one point was like, okay, well, he's in charge of, like, Isengard, so he's building Isengard, and so maybe we'd get, like, assigned a place, and we'd be responsible for building that place out, so maybe it'd be a more of a buildy series, plus, I don't know if they PvP each other and stuff. Again, I haven't really looked into it. But you guys probably even know better than me, because you guys are always requesting that I try playing on a server, so maybe you guys know what's going on with that better than I do. So those are your 3 options. Let me know in the comments down below. I'm really going to need a lot of feedback on this, because it really, you know, even with the drop-off in views and support and stuff, we're still getting, you know, close to 150 views a week, which is not great considering we used to be getting 300. You know, we've got like half the support that we used to be getting, but maybe, you know, if you guys who are watching, 150 people giving me feedback is still pretty dang good. So if you guys could try and do that for me, I would appreciate it. Just let me know what it is you would like to see this series do, because at this point it's kind of at a standstill, and I probably won't be updating again until I get a good definitive answer from people on what they'd like to see happen. So there may be a couple weeks without stuff, and if we don't get this figured out before the summer hits, I don't even know when it'll start back up. So definitely, as soon as you can, give me your feedback. I'm gonna keep trying to fix it on my end. If you guys have any ideas on how to fix it, let me know for sure, because I'm pretty much exhausted all of my options at this point, I think. I've even made, you know, copies of the world and attempted to load them with the same issues. So it's a whole head-scratching, annoying mess. But anyway, so those are the options. If you guys have any confusion over that, just feel free to comment. I'm pretty good about responding to my comments. And so if you guys have any questions, let me know. But I think I'm going to call it here for today. I apologize that I don't have better news or a more exciting update for you guys on this, but it's kind of out of my hands. I didn't change anything, nothing at all since the last time I recorded. I just booted up my Lord of the Rings profile and attempted to load my world, and nothing. So I don't know. The one bright side is Rocket Boar is still alive, as of this update, or as of this backup, so that's kind of awesome. He jumps really fast, or far, and moves really fast, so Rocket Boar is still alive. So if there's a silver lining to this whole mess, that is probably it. But thank you guys for watching. I've been Torm with the Grain. You guys have been great. Make sure to hit those likes, comments, and subscriptions for me, guys. And really, I desperately need your feedback at this point. It's not one of those things where, like, oh, well, other people will talk to him. Every single person who's watching this video and has a YouTube account, I need to know what you guys would like me to do, because you know, this has very much been a community series. You guys have really latched onto it and loved it, and so I want you guys to have some say in what happens, because honestly, I'm kind of at a loss of what to do at this point. So, yeah. That's pretty much all I've got, so thank you guys again for watching. Make sure to leave that feedback. I desperately need you to do so, and I will see you guys next time, hopefully with some better news. Alrighty guys, I've been Tortoise, the Great. You've been great. Have a good one.